one of the big issues around Albany today and this week is some of the governor's proposals to deal with the federal tax changes. Yes, the federal tax code change, you can only deduct up to $10,000 of your state and local property taxes, and that's going to be an issue. It's not going to be as bad as some have advertised it. It's mainly going to hit people in around New York City who have high incomes and no kids because they don't get the child deduction that someone with children will get. But it's definitely an issue. We definitely have to grapple with it. But what the governor's doing is he's kind of working on the symptoms and trying to work around the federal changes. He wants to set up basically a charity, which we could pass the legislation and the IRS could reject it, and that would leave us with a major problems. The governor's thinking about a new payroll tax, a voluntary payroll tax. But I liken it to weight loss. You know, I'm kind of a portly fellow. My New Year's resolution is to lose 50 pounds this year. I'm down 16. But you know, I could, and I've done this in the past. You know, you're a little on the heavier side, so you buy a bigger suit, you wear black, you wear pinstripes, and you do all these other things to deal with the problem, except eat less. You know, what we need to do as a state is eat less. We need to spend less. And that's really where we should be tackling the problem, not with these other, dealing with it around the edges, trying to be tricky with it. It might not work, very, very likely not to work. And then we get farther down the road and there's no chance to change anything. We should really deal with the spending problem. I read the other day about $16 billion of our budget goes to state employees. There are 300,000 state employees. Now, I'm not saying lay anybody off or fire anybody, but we could reduce the size through attrition. You know, most private companies are shrinking because technology. And if we lose someone and we can do the job without hiring another person in the state, I think that we should do that. And I have issues with the bureaucracy. You know, my office will be trying to help a constituent. We call some state agency and they say, oh, we can't help you. And then we call another state agency, we can't help you. And then you call a third state agency and they say, you know what, call your county. So we have this big, huge, 300,000 person state bureaucracy, and sometimes it's not very helpful. And sometimes these are very, dire situations that no one in the state wants to help. I've had a constituent, a police officer, retired because he got hit by a car on the job, and he's trying to call a number to find out his retirement information, and it's not a good number. The number on a state website is not a good number. So, we're spending all this money, and what are we getting for it? So we should look at the spending, look at shrinking the size of government, and not these gimmicks, because that's what they are. And if we do that, we'll be a better state. It will be better for everyone on all ranges of the income ladder.